24 hours ago, Unified Police had a murder on their hands with very little evidence and basically no witnesses. By late last night, though, they had two people in custody, the man who allegedly pulled the trigger and a woman who allegedly tried to cover the whole thing up. 35-year-old Derek Little is now behind bars, charged with murder, while 27-year-old Triana Scaramella is in jail for obstruction of justice for allegedly lying to police about what happened. Now, a little before 8 yesterday morning, Triana called 911 saying she'd stepped outside her Millcreek apartment to have a cigarette and found a man lying on the sidewalk, shot. Police arrived and found Tavita Leiloni wounded and bleeding. He was rushed to a local hospital but quickly pronounced deceased. Detectives eventually searched the apartment and also retrieved video from a neighbor's doorbell camera. It allegedly shows Mr. Little pulling the victim's body out of Triana's apartment, and detectives say at that point they knew her story was bogus.
It didn't make a whole lot of sense what was happening. We were able to develop some information that showed that our victim had been in apartment number 1, which is where this woman had come from. She lived in apartment number 1. So that just didn't make a whole lot of sense that she'd come outside and saw him there when we had evidence to know that he was actually inside of that apartment.
Detectives say they found firearms, illegal narcotics, and other potential evidence inside the apartment. They also learned that before fleeing the scene, Mr. Little had taken his young son with him and was apparently heading to an Indian reservation in South Dakota. By late last night, though, they located him in Salt Lake City and arrested him. Now, there is still one more person detectives are looking for who was there at the scene of the crime, potentially during the murder, but they're not certain what this individual's involvement was in all of this, and they'd very much like to talk to him. If you know who he is or where he is, you're asked to call Unified Police, 801-743-7000. Outside UPD headquarters, Scott McCain, Fox 13 News, Utah.